J Media.
Welcome back to Ignite Your Why podcast. I'm your host, Austin T. Gullett, and we're here to have genuine conversations with authentic people to help amplify their voice and figure out what ignites their why. Today's guest is the founder of 411 Uncut, a digital media platform. She wears many hats as a promoter, a DJ, a radio personality, and so much more. If you're from the Cincinnati area, you know her as DJ Nella D, and I'm super excited to have her on today. So DJ Nella D, what it do? How you doing?
What's up, Austin? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm tired. I feel like this weather this weekend was beautiful, and today is just a very gloomy day. So I'm trying to find the energy.
I'm with you. It was beautiful. Yesterday was great, but today is a little gloomy. So yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's how it always goes. I feel like that's been the month of April and May. It's just been rain nonstop, I feel like. But hey,
Springtime. It's the rain, but the Mayflowers are blooming.
I'm ready for sunshine and summer. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy we finally found time to make this happen. I know we've been going back and forth because you're a busy woman.
Listen, I'm so sorry that we had to go back and forth so much, but I was like, we gonna get the time, and I'm gonna come on here because, like, we see each other probably on a monthly basis. Sometimes a few times out the month we see each other just because of what you do and what I do, and I so appreciate what you do, and you've been such a blessing. With just as soon as we made contact, you're just so easy to work with, and you all about the kids. So I appreciate you for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it was bound to happen. I feel like we just always run into each other. I was like, we're making this happen. So let's just hop straight into this. So, what is your story? Who is DJ Nella D?
So DJ Nella D. So I'm born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. I grew up in Mount Healthy, so uptown. That's where I'm from. That's where I went to school. Literally my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Which is probably like 5 minutes from the city limits. So it ain't really like I'm too far from the city of Cincinnati. So of course my family, we are from the West End though. We are from the West End, downtown Cincinnati. A lot of my childhood, I grew up downtown in the Lincoln Courts on Clark and Cutter. That's where my grandma was. So anytime I left from Mount Healthy, we were always going to the inner city, going downtown. That played a major part in just my upbringing, my cousins, my family. That's where everybody was in the 90s. So yeah, so growing up, I was just always I've had a love for music since I was a kid from, watching, videos. I used to love to dance. So dance was my big introduction into music. My daddy put a microphone in my hand when I was like 5 years old. I used to want to be a singer. I knew I wanted to do something.
A singer?
You can't
You,
sing to
you
save my life.
Oh, I
Can't
was about to say
sing.
you got pipes.
Absolutely not. But I just, you just seeing what people do. You like, that look
Hmm.
cool. I want to do that. But I always knew I love to dance. Everything with music. It was, I grew up in a house where my mama house was the where the family came for all the holidays, boxing, parties and all that, fight parties and all of that. Like that was that type of house I grew up in. So it was
Hmm.
always music. It was always fun. It was always people over. It was always a good time. So I guess it just really influenced me to just really like want to be in the music industry, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
I didn't know I was gonna really take it serious, but hey, I'm here now and doing big things. So
It's crazy how God works. And I think when you look back in life, you never truly understand the way He lines things up for you and how it all unfolds until you just get to that point where you're just like, oh,
yeah,
it
that
all
it makes
makes
sense.
sense now. So you're
Yeah.
so you're from down the way. So you're an OG.
Yeah, technically, I grew up there, but I claim Mount Healthy just because I went to school out here all the time. This is where I lived at, but anytime I left, I was downtown for sure.
So what age were you when the song Down the Way came out?
Oh, when a Down the Way came out, I want to say I probably was like 12, 13. So when that came out, dude, what? Everybody is like turned. Like, and back then, like, Mount Healthy was so much of a melting pot, far as in, like, a
Hmm.
lot of people that was from the inner city had moved um out this way. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it was fun to just have a lot of people that everybody, like, especially when Down the Way came out, everybody was excited about But I think even if he wouldn't, because he shouted out every hood was basically a part of the down the way. Like it didn't matter where you was from, you was hitting it down the way. You could have been from the west side, you could have been from the east side, you could have been, you feel me, uptown, wherever, you was hitting it down the way because that's just what it was.
Yeah, and I still to this day, like, the kids go crazy when I play the song, or like it's just one of those things where I think it's just like an identity of like Taft, and just like people. One thing I've noticed is Taft alumni are so passionate.
My mom is a Taft alumni, and it's crazy. Today is my mom's 7-year death date that we doing this episode. And my mom is, like I said, my whole family is from the West End. She's a Taft graduate. So I get so excited when I'm able to like go to Taft and do the events. I mean, when I first started doing Taft events, I was like, dang, I was actually running into alumni that knew my mother. And it's just good to be a part of it, even though I'm pretty sure she would have been excited to go with me, like, oh yeah, I'll go with you to the basketball games while you DJ and different stuff, because that's her old school. But
Yeah.
they rep it to the fullest. My godmom went to Taft, my aunties, everybody in my family graduated from Taft.
So you know the saying, TA. I think it's just amazing. I love connecting with alumni. I love the passion people have for that school, and
Yeah,
it's just a beautiful thing to be around. But
it is.
I do have a question for you, because you grew up in the Mount Healthy area, and you said you always had this passion for music. When did you know music was the path for you? How did you know, like, this is my future?
It's crazy. So like before, like me just seeing like dance videos, it was dance that really brought me into like music heavy. Like it was a point in time where I thought I was gonna be like a choreographer. Like I wanted to be like one of those people, like, you know, the background dancers for like Chris Brown and that's what I wanted to be, like really bad. So like I was really into like 106 at Park, BT, TV. Like I would literally tape the segments, you know what I'm saying? So I could rewatch them. I would literally make my own mixtapes. I'm talking about, I'm gonna show my age a little bit, but when it was cassettes, you know, and I used to listen to the radio, I used to listen to the Wiz, and I used to make my own mixtapes off of there, because I always want to control the music. You know what I'm saying? When I get in the car with my mom, even at 7, 8 years old, I want to control what I hear. I used to call the radio and make requests. Can y'all play this? Can y'all play that? That was the type of kid I was, you know? When
She
my
wanted the
mom,
aux.
yeah, no, for real. Before the aux was even around, I was like, you know what? I can make. My mama showed me, because I always was the kid that I had to have you know, people used to have a stereo system in their bedroom, you know, like a 5-disc CD changer and all that. I used to beg mom, I need that. Like at 8 years old, I had a 5-disc CD changer in my room, plus the cassette at the bottom of it. The radio played on it. I'm making mixtapes, recording songs off my CDs, because back in the day, you know, everybody car didn't have a CD player. So my mama car didn't have a CD player. So I would literally make tapes just so we could go, when I go in the car, I could hear what I want. And we gonna jam. And she used to be
That's
like,
impressive, though.
good.
When
No,
you
for
think
real.
about it, at the age, like a young age, like, how did you learn to do that?
My mama had taught me. She was like, yeah, you can make. So my mom used to record videos on the VCR and stuff too. That's where I had got that from. She used to record. My mama used to make sure, like, because she had a lot of events, so she always wanted to have music. So she would always record videos. She would just put the VCR in, record videos off of BT all day, just so that she could have music playing at her events. You know what I'm saying? And different stuff throughout the day. So I remember when I had first, she was like, yeah, this is how you do it. She was like, just hit record on the on here while you turn on the song, hit record. She said, wait about 3 seconds in between before you play the next one, and then you hit record. So I remember when I said, this is my first tape, mama, check it out. It was a mix, you know, a different songs, and we got in the car. She was like, you did good. This all right. It's right. And I can't even remember what all songs I had on there, but it was whatever was on the radio, whatever, you know, whatever was popping at that time. I had it. I was like, yeah, ma, this the stuff.
Or like LimeWire was like a big thing.
What?
Like,
I crashed our desktop off of LimeWire, man.
I don't
Desktop.
think people understand the struggle of like growing up and not being able to use the internet and the phone at the same time.
I'm gonna call you back. I gotta get online real quick. Write me on AOL instant message. Like it
Like
used to
that
be like that. Email
that
me.
startup, or like you would be playing your, like, I remember like me and my brother, like we would play games on the computer, and we'd be in our game, and then we hear the phone ring, and we'd be like, oh shit. Because
Once the phone ring, it's
once the
over.
phone ring is over.
Yeah. I used to get cussed out because my mom because it used to go to voicemail, so it used to do a busy signal
Mm-hmm.
for our phone. And I mean, I don't even think they don't remember. Remember the internet used to get emailed to your house or mailed to your house in a disc. The internet.
I don't remember that.
Yes,
I'm not that old. I'm kidding.
in order to get to the internet on your desktop, you had to have a CD-ROM that you put on the computer
Really?
first to get to be able to download. And you install it on your computer, like AOL or
Mm-hmm.
NetZero, whatever it was that you had. You would do that, then you would be able to get online. It would be like a certain amount of hours on the disk.
That's insane.
Yes. Like, so you only had a certain amount of time that you could be on the internet, and then you have to get a new disk and upload
Mm.
that. And it costs. You know what I'm saying? It was way cheaper though than what we pay now. Because of course, Wi-Fi bill is about $60 a month or something like that.
Insane.
Yeah.
I had my own router, and it's still like insane to me, and
Yeah. sixty
that's
dollars
just
a
wild.
month. And it go up. You better watch who you with because it could go up. I done left certain internet providers because it's so high.
Yeah, I just don't understand why things keep getting more expensive and you're not enhancing it. That's the same thing I said about rent the other day. I was like, my rent is continuously going up every year, but you're not enhancing my apartment. My
Everything's still
apartment's
the
the same.
same.
People are like, it's the property taxes. I don't care. Give me a new refrigerator. Give me a new microwave. Give me some
So
enhancements to make it feel like it's worth paying another $50 a month. That just
yeah.
don't make sense to me.
It
It's a
don't.
scam.
It's sad. I remember moving out my first apartment. Like I had got a townhouse when I first moved out. Me and my cousin, we was splitting the rent. We was splitting $525 in
I
rent for
wish.
a 2-bedroom townhouse. Nowadays, I feel so bad for the Gen Z for them. I moved out of
Mhm.
my mom's house with my McDonald's job. You know what I'm saying? I was able to support myself off of McDonald's job. Nowadays,
Nope.
the rent they moving out is $2,000 to get a 2-bedroom. So it's just like it's to see, and it's like that wasn't even that long ago, but times
And
have changed.
they want you to make 3 times your monthly rent. Like, who? What kind of jobs are these? Like,
Where
that's
do you think people
insane.
working at?
It just doesn't make sense to me. Is I feel like it's just a big scam. And there's one thing I could change. It would be that, like,
Absolutely.
paying unnecessary bills, like insurance. Why? You
Gotta
don't
have
need
it
it till you
too.
need it.
But when you need it, it's there. I'll tell you that.
It's just those little things where it's just like I feel like I pay for so many, I wouldn't say useless, but like so many things that are just so unnecessary to be so expensive. I think
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to is just the cost of living is insane. And I'm just like I'm struggling and I have a full-time job. Like I'm salary based. I like live paycheck to paycheck. And that is not the way to like live. Not
Nowadays, you gotta have two. They said even Americans with two jobs are struggling
yeah.
to pay bills, and it's just like that's crazy. It's like back in the day, if you had two jobs, so one job was just for bills, and the other one was just do whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
Like literally, you could do whatever you want to do with this money. This is free money for you. You work for it, but it don't go towards your bill. Your bills. You could go get a haircut, hair done. Buy you some new threads if you needed some new clothes, new shoes. If you wanted to save it for a vacation, it's not like that no more. Now you need both of them jobs to pay for your bills to have the income.
That's just wild to me because I couldn't even imagine having a second job right now with the amount of hours I work. I'm just like, there's no way. No way.
You wouldn't have a life. Now you just working for everything that you had. But that's
Mhm.
that's one thing now I think that a lot of people got to do too. A lot of people want the glitz and glamour, or a lot of people are paying for updated things, and they salty because now you want to live downtown in a nice little apartment or whatever. Okay, that's cool. Well, guess what? Now it's hard for you. You can't travel. You can't do nothing. Go walk your dog or something because that's all you got. You can do at so you gotta it just depends on what moves you and what you need. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Or you could go find you maybe a 1-bedroom for 700-800. It may not look like that one downtown, but guess what?
Yeah.
That you may be able to now travel and buy some things that you like and do some stuff because it opens stuff up. So nowadays that's kind of where they putting people at, where you gotta kind of figure out what it is that move you.
I don't need a luxury lifestyle. I just need a roof over my head and let me just do what I need to do. Like I don't care. I
That
don't need
part.
the fancy appliances. I don't need
But a lot of people do. They gotta have that. A lot of people gotta
It's
have that
because
nowadays.
they
The aesthetic.
bougie, the bougie
Yes.
lifestyle. What is the aesthetic for? No one's no. I'm a homebody and I don't like really have people over, so like there's nothing for me to show off.
People want to share everything online. That's what it's about. So we come, back in the day, we didn't care if our first apartment was a little shabby. We ain't online trying to flex it. We just glad we got some peace in our first apartment and it's fine. Nowadays these people live online consistently.
Mm-hmm.
The newer generation, that's what they live for. So they want to show off their bathroom. They're literally making content in their homes now to make money. So they want to have that aesthetic that fits that, I feel like.
And you're dead on. Like that's 100% accurate. I think the way social media is now, I say it all the time on here. It's just a sexy highlight reel. You see all the good in people's lives and the things that they're doing, the things they own, and it's just one of those things where you see it and you compare yourselves to those people, and it's just unfair because a lot of the things you're seeing on social media it's unrealistic because
Very.
everyone's journey is different. You don't know what they went through to get to that point in their life. They probably went through the struggle, had their ups and downs, and finally got here 10 years later. But you're just like, I see it, I want it. And it's just like, that's what Ariana Grande said. I want it, I got it.
No, for real. That's real. That's real because a lot of people, even for me, like people be like, "Oh my god!" It's like people that's even been friends with me
Mm-hmm.
and on social media. That people that know me, like they act like, "Oh my god!" Like you're on the radio. What did you do? Like y'all remember me posting up about working at McDonald's? Y'all remember me like like when I was in school and stuff. People don't pay attention until it's you at the big part
Mm-hmm.
of things. You know what I'm saying? It's like it wasn't fun. You know what I'm saying? Of course you appreciate the journey. You appreciate the journey through things, but it's hard. People see now like, oh, Uncut is doing so good. Man, it was times when listen, I was sitting here not making $1 off of this platform or whatever, and I'm doing it and I'm trying to figure out how to monetize, how to get customers consistently. That's an everyday struggle with things. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people they see the different stuff. They're like, oh, that's so cool, but not knowing just what all it took for you to get to where you at.
They don't see the grind, they see the product. And I think
Bingo.
that's what it comes down to.
And they don't
You
care. They
Yeah,
don't
they
even.
don't. They don't. Once you hit it big, everyone's like, "Hey, let me get something. Let me see this. Let's do this. Let's do that." Where were you when I was struggling? When
Where
I
was you
was
at, buddy?
you non-existent?
You didn't care. You didn't
We
care
don't.
when I was struggling and
Yeah,
trying to figure
fake
stuff out.
love. It's easy to find fake love. I think that's the biggest thing, and I see it on social media all the time. Where you have like the. Have you seen the pictures of people like you get a shit ton of congratulations, but there's no one there through the journey?
It's funny. I remember wanting to just having online radio shows at school when I went to the Ohio Media School and trying to get people to listen and nobody cared. I remember interning at the radio and people and I'm being like, hey, come meet us over here the week. People were like, what is she doing? Like, what are you doing? Like people didn't understand what was doing, even down to just even my dad, it was times when he was just like, you focus on this and that, you gotta keep you a second job. I'm like, Dad, I can't work a second job no more. I have to put all hands in on media to get what I want out of it. So I'm about to go. I went through a really rough patch when I really chose. A lot of people think they want to do what they want to do. Okay, do what you want to do and watch you go broke and watch you lose a lot of everything that you loved and wanted. You're going to lose it all. And let's
Right.
see if you can still, ain't no vacations, ain't no cute clothes, ain't no this and that. I remember having to host my first events, learning how to host at the club in a packed club with the wackest shoes on. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have any clothes because I couldn't afford to buy no clothes. I'm wearing my Wiz hoodies everywhere.
Yeah,
You
you
know what I'm
couldn't step
saying?
out with what you wanted to wear.
I couldn't even step out with I ain't got a brand new pair of shoes. You feel me? I'm lucky to have my hair done because my sister do hair. Like it's literally that deep. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got to get in front of a crowd of people and introduce myself to y'all and host. It's a lot of stuff that go behind, the scenes a lot of people don't know.
And that's the truth. I think people are always going to just want what's now and not understand the journey that comes through it. But I also feel like the journey is what makes everything so beautiful in life. Like respect the journey and you'll get to where you want to get to eventually. I think that's the biggest thing is just people don't have
Are
the
you gonna wait?
patience. They don't have the patience.
The patience. is what's
Yes.
needed in order to, because it get to the point even now sometimes I be like, oh my god, why I ain't making the money I want to make. I ain't da 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 da. Like you gonna
Yeah.
feel that, you know what I'm saying? You gonna feel like, oh my god, like, and even with being, people think you would be an entrepreneur, like, because I have a job at the radio station, but then I have
Hmm.
my 401 Uncut business. So I got a job, but yeah, I'm an entrepreneur too. And it's just like sometimes you just be like, oh my god, I wish, sometimes sales, they go down, they be up, they go down, they be
It
up.
fluctuates. It's like a
It's
roller coaster.
fluctuating. So, and then you get a lot of people who just be like, oh well, can you just post my stuff? No, this costs. This stuff costs now, because I've built out an audience. We are like 500 followers away from 100,000. Like, I've been building. Thank you. I've been building this
That's
platform,
awesome.
man, and I've been building this platform for a long time. And it took a while for people to like really start
Hmm.
being like, oh, okay, it's in Ohio, and knowing where we from and wanting to travel here to be a part of it, because it's bigger than Cincinnati. I never just thought like I want to cut to cater to Cincinnati. That's why I didn't name it like Cincy Uncut or nothing like
Yeah.
that. Like I gave,
513.
yeah, like, because I wanted it to be for the hip hop culture,
Yeah.
period, not just Cincinnati. And I felt like that was the only way that I could maybe even help Cincinnati artists get bigger if we intertwine both.
Hey, I feel it. And I think it's awesome. I think the grind, especially in a world of social media and doing a podcast, I feel you. Like, it is a struggle. I try to stay consistent. And I think being consistent is one of the hardest parts, especially with like the demanding job that I have. So I try to
Yeah.
make do. I try to switch things up. I've been picking brains of other people, and I'm on this journey. So like, I respect your journey. I think you started from the bottom and now you're here. And I think that's the beautiful thing. And I'm gonna pick your brain about this offline because I don't want to go too much. We can't drop
Okay.
all the gems.
All
But I
right.
wanna I wanna head into the next segment here because it's kind of important and it's the whole emphasis of this podcast, ignite your why. So what is it that truly inspires you? But most importantly, what is it that ignites your why?
Probably like my mom. Like my mom, she passed in 2018. And she really, far as an ignite in my why, like, she kind of just really pushed me, and she always believed in me. So that's kind of why, like, I don't give up when we talk about the patience and having to, figure this out. I remember when I first came to my mom about wanting to even get in media school, and I came home and I was so happy. Like, this what I'm gonna do, this what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be on the radio. Like I had already told her, and she was just like, yes. She was ecstatic. Even the fact that she wasn't here long enough for me, but
Mm-hmm.
she got to see me on the radio. She got to see me on the news, on TV. She got to see a lot of things with me being Nella D, and she would be so happy. Like, she would literally be in drive-throughs. Y'all listen to the Wiz. Y'all know Nella D. That's my baby. She was so ecstatic that I was doing what I was doing. And I remember her, like, when I would be tired in school trying to figure stuff. I was working as a manager. I'm 19 years old. I'm a manager at McDonald's. I'm going to school. I'm interning at the radio station while I'm in school. I'm tired. I'm broke. Like, and I remember, like, she would text me every morning, like, baby, get up. Keep your eyes on the prize. Get up, baby. Get up. Like, you got to get ready for school. You got to go. You got to get there. You got to finish out. Like, and even after I graduated, I would be discouraged. I was waiting to get hired back at the station. Once I was done my internship with them, I was, like, man, I need to actually get hired on, and I was trying, and it was just taking too long. And I was so discouraged. I was thinking, like, man, it ain't gonna happen. And she was like, girl, I had a dream. She called me one day. She said, I had a dream. You go get that job. I already seen it. It done happened. It's coming. I kid you not. Probably like 2-3 weeks later, I had got a call about it. And I remember calling her just crying and being so happy. And she was like, I told you you was gonna get it. And like, she just always, even though she passed on, I could just always hear her saying, baby, come on, get up.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eyes on that prize. I can hear it's like embedded in me. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm making her happy, whether she is like here in the physical or just the spiritual. Like, as long as I'm making her happy, that's enough for me. You know what I'm
And
saying? So,
she's up there looking down, smiling, and just same
hmm,
thing. Like, that's my baby. You know that's how it
what?
is, and I think it's a beautiful thing. I know like it's beautiful for you just open up about your mom, and like I'm trying not to get emotional, like
Me too.
and like it's not even my mom. I don't even know her, but I think it's just a beautiful thing because the support and the love she's embedded in you is kind of what is getting you through and kind of pushing you forward. And
Yeah,
it's just beautiful because even though she's not here physically, like the spiritual aspect of her is just bright, and like you can probably feel it when she's around. And I think
I can
she's
a
proud of
lot.
you. She
Yeah, I
definitely
can
is.
feel it,
And like she did those things while she was here to instill that confidence in you. And that's
and
something
that's
you
what
have
she
to
did.
remember by, right? You have that to remember. And it's just one of
That's what
those
she did.
things. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful
The
because
confidence is the major thing because you got to be confident to get on the radio and talk to a whole tri-state, and be confident with what you selling, what you promoting, you know what I'm saying, who you are as a
mhm,
personality, and even on a stance of just expanding to DJing and things like that. I knew she'd have been super excited about that, being around for me DJing, but that confidence, I can still hear her sometimes when I doubt myself. Girl, you got this. You better go ahead and da 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 da. Girl, do your thing. Like I can hear
mhm,
her whenever I get that little doubt in myself. I hear her in my head, and I look in that mirror. I put my head up, and I walk out the front door. You know what I'm saying? And I know, like, hey, whatever I'm here to do, I'm about to rock this party. I'm gonna rock this crowd. Whatever it is, I'm gonna
yeah.
do it. So yeah.
And I think that's one thing is like she instilled that in you and is beautiful, and that you're living that, like living through her in a sense,
Mhm.
and that's keeping her legacy alive is because
Yeah.
just I never met her, I don't even know her, but she just seemed like a ray of sunshine and she seemed like an upbeat kind of person, and that's
Yeah.
exactly who you are. Like those qualities she gave you, and that's just I say it a lot, and I feel like I've said it 5 million times just now, but that's beautiful. Like there's no other way to say it because I am like I'm so blessed that my mom is still here. I love my mom to death, and I couldn't
Amen.
imagine the pain of like losing my mom.
It was
Just
that was the hardest thing. I think that I've lost a lot of people since then too. It was like my
mhm,
mom. I don't know what happened. It was like she died, and then after that, I've lost like probably another 6 to 7 people that's close right after her death. So I kind of been. A lot of people don't know that like Nella D has been dealing with a lot of grief these past 7 years. It's been a lot of grief in my family. My grandmother passed 6 months after my mom, so that was hard. And my
mhm,
sister was killed. My aunt passed of cancer. Her sister. I lost one of my best friends, and then recently, just a couple months ago, my brother he passed away as well. So it's just been a lot dealing with, it's hard because I'm still trying to process her passing,
yeah,
and still trying to be the upbeat person. I go through so much, and people else. It was times I would be in the studio on the record crying, bawling my eyes out behind the scenes, and then click the mic, and I'm 101.1, like literally, like
okay,
just going into it like a robot. And I had to really uh get some therapy and things. Though I had to actually get like me together. Nella D, I was always focused on Nella D, but I had to get me together for real
mhm.
because grief was kicking my butt.
Grief is a roller coaster. It hits you in waves, and I feel like some days it's harder than others. Some days you can go through, and you don't really feel it that much, and then other days it's really heavy. And I think the biggest thing is you have to allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. And I think in an
Absolutely.
industry you're working in, it's easy to put this facade on and put like in go mode because that's what you have to do. But it's
Mm-hmm.
always important to take a step back and take time for yourself, right?
Facts.
Because life will be life, and no matter what you're going through, it's gonna do
Whew.
its thing. It's gonna run its course. And as
Life
a
be life.
man, yeah, for sure. And as a man, like I've always kind of been taught to bottle my emotions up and not really speak on them. And going through therapy, I've learned that it's okay to feel what I need to feel. And even if it's feeling it for 2 seconds, like I'm still feeling those emotions and I'm addressing it. And I think
Mm-hmm.
the biggest thing is just I have the control, right?
Absolutely.
I have control of my emotions. I can feel what I need to feel. I have the power to turn it on. I have the power to turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy sometimes. Like it's easy to turn it off. It's not.
Yeah.
It's easy to turn it off. I'm packing this shit up and I'm going
Exactly.
with
Like, I ain't
right.
boxing this shit up and I'm putting it over here. Like
But
it.
the strength to be able to allow yourself to sit in your emotions, cry if you need to cry, vent if you need to vent. And it's just so therapeutic to do. And I think that's what I do with this podcast is I have these deep conversations, and it allows me to kind of relax and release. But I'm also trying to write a book, and the book is about my life and my life experiences and what I've been
Yeah.
through. And those moments, it's just me talking to myself. And I think that helps me a lot because I don't really like to
It
talk to other
do.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what therapy. I had to tell somebody, people, because a lot of people toot their nose up at therapy. Like, what's somebody
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell me if I go to therapy? What they gonna tell me? Sometimes it ain't about what they telling you. It ain't. You don't necessarily go to them for the answer. Sometimes you going in to get it out. You'll
Yeah.
be surprised how cool, how things can get better if you just talk it out. And sometimes you just talk yourself through it, like you just said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing is like it's the comfort of having someone that's gonna listen to you and not judge you about what you're telling them about. And I think that's
Bingo.
what it comes down to because sometimes we can go to our friends and sometimes our friends like blah 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 like no like I want someone who's non-judgmental and who's going to just hear me out. I don't always need a response. I think that's the thing is people think you
Don't.
have to have a response. No, just let me
Yes.
vent. Let me say what I need to say. Let me get it out. And that's it. Because that's maybe all I need. I don't need a response. I don't need advice. I don't need this. I just need someone to listen.
Literally, that's it. And that's where I was at with because I was like, I was getting in a really dark. And I'm glad I went to therapy because I didn't see all the deaths coming afterwards. Because it was like once it was my mom, my grandmother, my best friend, my auntie, I was in a bad space. Like I was shaking. Like I was super shaken up, when my aunt passed, because this is my mom's sister. So this is like, dang, like this the other person who I got that's like a mother figure to me
Right.
too. If she passes away, it punched me. And I was like, I'm about to go crazy. Like I thought I was literally gonna be in like a mental ward. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I literally thought that I was gonna go crazy. And I said, you know what? You're not gonna go crazy. You cannot be so depressed that you don't move forward because grief will take you. I'm used to like people be like I'm depressed, and people be depressed over certain things that they can fix. And I, because I'm that person, I'm a solution based person. So like if I'm depressed because oh my god, I want a better job, well go find you a better job. You can find. Oh, I'm depressed. I'm
Yeah.
single. I want a man. Girl, go find you a man. You can find you a man if you know what I'm saying. But the grief was weird. It was a different because I couldn't. It wasn't no solution to it. It wasn't
Yeah.
no like okay, like I'm like okay, I'm depressed and there's nothing to fix this but bringing these people back. That would be the only thing that would make me feel better. Nothing else
Mm-hmm.
is gonna make me feel better about this. I didn't know how to process that.
Yeah. And I think trauma enforced like situations are completely different than you know what I mean? Because when you're
Yes.
experiencing trauma in the word, it's traumatic. Like it's deep. It goes deeper and the wounds hit a lot harder. And it's one of those things where you just struggle to deal with it because it's it could be new, b you just don't know the way out, and it's a never ending cycle because you're just like okay like I feel this but like I'm stuck here and I don't know how to get out, and that's the
Yeah.
scary part. And people look at therapy and people think you have to be in a very dark place to go to therapy, and you don't. and
No.
and therapy is not for everyone, I will say
When you
that.
happy. You could be
Yeah.
happy. Things could go straight, be going great, and you just want to go to therapy. Because I did it for probably like 11 months. Like I went for an extensive amount of
Hmm.
time, and but I did things because, like I said, I think this is with anybody that's depressed. I would put this out for anybody that's dealing with any battle, right? Whether it's grief or just any type of form of depression, because it come in different ways
Yeah.
and no one is bigger than the other. They are. If you once you ain't feeling it, you ain't feeling it. You in the dark spot, you're in the dark spot. But you gotta figure out when is enough gonna be enough for you. You gonna have to figure out. You gonna have to take charge because ain't nobody coming to save you. That's one of the things I always had to remember in life. Like nobody coming to save you. So whatever you crying about, whatever you sorry about, it's gonna take you to work through it and get yourself through it. My therapist actually had recommended me that she felt I didn't need to continue because I was doing work with it. I started exercising, making healthier choices, being more cognitive about just things I was doing. Some less. I stopped drinking as much. I kind of scaled back on a lot of stuff because it was just like this. If I'm doing all this stuff that's bad, right? I quit smoking, a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that I could be better, do some better things to myself, work on my mental, taking, one day out of the month, go get a facial, do a spa day, take a iron and go get a facial once a month, hour and a half, lay down, get
Yeah.
your relaxed facial or back massage, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Linking up with people, women that are close to me, even if that was close to my mom too. That's my big cousins and my godmom, whoever that,
Yeah.
getting around people who I know love me just as much as she do and care about me as well, and know that I still got community. Just because she gone don't mean I don't have community anymore. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
just be more acceptive to help, being able to say, hey, I need some help, and those things can work. And that's like I say, even if it's a guy, get around some guys that just friends, have some outings, go out with your guys, be able to vent without your girl around or your partner, whoever, to get some stuff off your chest and just have some fun and be able to be you and
The biggest
take
thing is you got to take time for yourself.
time
And I
for
think
yourself.
the only person that really got your back the way you got yourself besides God is yourself, right?
Come
No
on,
one's got you like yourself. And
come
you have
on.
to make time for yourself. And it takes strength to be able to say, like, I'm not okay. I need help. To ask for help is a sign of strength. And I think people don't truly understand that asking for help is a sign of strength. It's not a weakness. Just because you need help doesn't mean something's completely wrong with you. Like
No.
you are recognizing that, hey, like, I need to do this for me. And when it
Mhm.
comes down to it, the hardest thing to do is to love yourself, because we're our biggest critics. We will nitpick every little thing that we do, what we look like, what we're wearing. I don't like this, I don't like that. Like, it's so easy to beat yourself up and make
Yeah.
yourself
Be
feel,
kind. Be kind to yourself. Say good
yeah.
things, and make it a thing. And to with faith. Nothing wrong to it. Figure out what. And it don't gotta look like how it looked to everybody else. If you ain't a church person, that's fine. But try to figure out your faith and how to get closer to God and your way. It don't gotta be the cliche way. It could be
Hmm.
literally your way. It's your relationship with God.
Yeah.
It ain't nobody else's. But I think all those things combined kind of help pull me out. And I'm glad I did it when I did it, because I did not see everything else that was coming down the pipeline. And if I wasn't in therapy, like when my sister got killed and things like that, I probably would have really went into a even more of a dark space. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'd have really like flipped my lid. Like, so it's only so much grief a person can take, because life, when they say life be life, that's
Yeah.
like life really be life. So you gotta figure out what tools you're gonna do to, because it's gonna stuff gonna happen. It is what it is.
Facts.
But you
Yeah.
got to figure out how to maintain your mental, because a lot of people don't understand your mental health is just people care about how they look. They want to have their hair done, nails done, and you want to be fit and you want to this and that. But what about the inside of your mental capacity? Because if your mental ain't right, all of that don't matter.
Your mental is just as important as your physical, and I think that's the beauty of it all. Is I love talking about mental health. I think it's a topic that needs to be talked about, so I'm glad we're having this conversation. I don't even have to go to segment 3 because we already talked about it. Because it's just so important, and I think people don't truly understand that everyone has their own walk of life, and everyone goes through shit that they don't see. Like, it's the unheard battles, the silent battles that people don't recognize. And that's why I always try to just be positive and just smile at people, because you never know what someone else is going through.
You don't know. You don't have a clue what the next person got going on, and you just walking
Hmm.
around being in your. A lot of people have, especially, it's such desensitized with social media. Everybody in their own bubble. They with their headphones. Everybody like this all day.
Yeah, let me see.
Everybody
It's
like that
it's
all
these
day.
kids. I talk about these kids all the time, and I'm just like, bro, like, your beats are like glued to your head. Like, talk to people, interact with people. I
They
think
gonna
that's
be some really lonely. I don't know how their relationships and stuff gonna work with how like to they self that they want to be like. But and they don't socialize the same way. Like they sit on FaceTime like all day. It's weird. Like they don't.
Facts.
It's weird. They don't go see, be like, why don't y'all go link up and do something? They don't do that. They just kind of be on FaceTime.
FaceTime the
Yeah.
whole time. It's just weird to me. I don't understand that generation. I don't get it. I feel like I got blessed where I didn't have to grow up with social media.
We got to see both sides. That's a good thing because you're a millennial too, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the best thing about millennials. We seen how it was beforehand, and we see now, and we see the
Mm-hmm.
effects of what it changing and now what it has on the generation coming up.
And social media is addicting as hell. Like no cap. Like I'm not gonna lie. I sit on Instagram scrolling, TikTok scrolling,
Why you think
whatever
I
it
got a
is.
digital platform? Why I'm like, yes, like that's why I was like, this the move. It's the internet with hip hop and the culture.
Yeah.
Why not get into this? Like because this is what everybody's. It ain't going nowhere. It's only going to get bigger. It's not going nowhere.
And that's the scary part.
It ain't going nowhere. It's
That's the
here.
scary part. It's
Yeah.
so addicting. It's so addicting.
It
And I
is because
think,
you find comfort in it now. Now to the point where it's comforting, where it's like, oh well, I can't wait to just go home, sit here. I'm gonna go to my favorite
mhm,
pages and scroll them, and I'm gonna look at all these different things that I like. That's
yep.
funny. That's what whatever. You can now cater your page to show you what you wanted to show you.
Yeah, that's creepy to me.
And I do it all the time. I purposely go click things that I know I want to see consistently. Just like you ever know your explore page to show you that what you're watching. It'll keep promoting those things to you. Like I'm
Hmm.
big on now. I started liking makeup a lot, right? So I was watching a lot of tutorials. Now every time I go on there, guess what it show me?
Makeup videos.
Back to back, back to back, back to back. That's all it's showing now. Every day I'm looking at. So that's a good thing though. You can monitor, but
Yeah.
the thing is the bull is gonna always still come through your timeline, and I think that's the problem now. We putting these phones and tablets in front of these
Hmm.
kids, letting them get Instagram profiles, TikTok profiles a little too
At such a
soon
young age, like
at such a young
you have
age.
8-year-olds that have Instagrams.
TikTok.
My thing, this is one thing that really irks me with like this whole social media thing is these parents trying to get their kid a basketball scholarship or whatever it may be, and they have a whole Instagram dedicated to their kid at 8 years old. Let your kid be a kid. Like let them be a kid because it is a
Not no more.
journey to get in a college scholarship and stuff like that. But why are you trying to do highlight reels of an 8-year-old? Like
I done seen them, and some of them 8 year olds. They really balling. Like
they do. I'm not gonna lie, they be
they going
balling.
crazy.
But it's also like they haven't even fully developed into who they're gonna be. Like I could be a bomb ass 8-year-old baller, but by the time I'm 16, am I keeping that same skill set? Am I really bettering myself?
And who are you outside of sports?
That's the
Because that's the
thing.
thing now. People make everything their whole personality. That ain't their personality. Like,
I tell people that all the time is like that was one of the hardest things I ever had to deal with was being an athlete and then stop playing sports because you put so much of your identity into I'm an athlete, I play sports, I do this, I'm a basketball player, I'm a soccer player, I'm this, I'm that. But it's like, okay, who are you outside of it? And that's
and
the
it's
hardest
so
part.
hard, man. People ask me that. Like, I've had interview people like, "Who is Nella D when she not?" I'm like, I work so damn much. I don't like honestly, like I work so much. I don't even know. Like you said, it become your whole identity, your whole person,
Hmm.
everything because you put in so much focus on that. And it's like, well, what if they take that away? What if it was to be taken away from you? What would you have? So that's important.
So who is Nella D outside of DJing and radio personality?
I mean, so this is the thing. Like, Nella D is me. Like,
Don't deflect. Don't
I'm
deflect.
not because let me tell you something. My personality is what it is. Like, I like when you see me dancing with the kids and stuff. That's not
Mhm.
something that's like I just picked up doing this because it's cool on TikTok. People that, like I said, I come from dance. I was the girl on dance teams growing up. I love to dance. That's been my thing. I have been recording myself. I got pop like a lot of people knew me from the radio because I would be the girl dancing everywhere. Like that's what made people, my coworkers, start like, oh, she be getting it. Like that's what made people like me. Like so,
She be
dancing is
lit, as the kids would say. She be lit.
she be lit. That's what the kids because they act like I be like, listen, y'all, I could probably be y'all mamas, but they be like, oh, let's make a video. I be knowing how to dancing, so they be ready to turn up. But It's me. Like, so even like me and my sister, sometimes we get together, we dance, we make little TikToks and stuff because that's what I like. I genuinely like music. I genuinely love music. Like, I'm genuinely, this is me. But if we take music outside of that, like, I'm a girlfriend, so I always with my boyfriend. Got having to be a girlfriend is it's a big deal and it's a task. You know what I'm saying? Like, a relationship is not easy, it's hard. So you gotta put into it. So when I'm not being Nella D, I'm definitely being a girlfriend. Out doing stuff with my boyfriend. That's like a big thing. We love to spend time like all the time. Like, that's my baby. So we always doing stuff. We love to travel, things like that. Go to basketball games. That's our thing. So, and then outside of that,
Rugby is boot up, boot up.
other than that, I have taken a lot of time now to start spending way more time with my family. I've cut back on doing so much club events and stuff like that. Like, I still work clubs, but not just like every week like I used to. I used to work clubs probably like 3, 4, 5 nights out the week. I really cut back on that because I just realized I want presence. And now that I'm realizing like a lot of my family members is leaving, like I remember it was times like I wouldn't be able to stay at an event because I gotta leave, because I gotta go to the club, and even on holidays, the radio station broadcasts live from the club. We gotta go. So I was always into that. Now I don't do that. Now I'm making sure holidays is being spent with my family, you know what I'm saying, my family members, and going to people's house. Even this past year, me and my boyfriend, we hosted a big Thanksgiving at our house. That was the first time we had probably like 100 people in and out of our house. Like, it was packed. So it's stuff like that now that I'm cherishing. You know what I'm saying? Even just like so I'm a reality TV junkie. So I'm always like before I got this call, I was watching my Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, I'm really like into that type of stuff, like all reality TV, like Married to Medicine. I'm watching Real Housewives, Baddies. I'm a Baddies junkie too. So I'm watching all the reality TV shows when I'm not like working and things like that. But like I said, recently it's been like for real family, like wanting to be around my family more.
Yep. And I think one thing you're doing is you're taking control, right? You're taking control of the situation, you're taking control of your life, and you're doing the things that makes you happy. Because we can always work. Like, I feel like work is always going to be there. We
Yeah.
can work, but
Mhm.
you're taking control and pouring into the things that matter the most to you and that are filling your cup up. Because if you can't fill your cup, then you can't fill anyone else's. And I think that's
Yes.
that's just how life works, right?
No,
You just
for
gotta
real. That's
gotta
the
pour into your own cup.
You got to. It gotta be a balance. It ain't nothing wrong with because sometimes I still get like recently was just prom season, stuff like that. The
Hmm.
school year ending, so I'm busy because it's a lot of school stuff. People want to do dances and I've been busy. But other than that, and I'm an auntie, so I spend a lot of time with like 'cause my sister, she passed, so I've been making sure I go get my nephews, like building my bonds with them, and I'm a godmom, like so I'm auntie, so my babies they call me, or I've got to pick them up from school. I'm always the help for my best friends and their dads and stuff like that. I'm the help, so I try to live up to my auntie duties. Okay, auntie be there for her babies.
As you should, as you
Yes,
should.
yes.
So I want to talk about one more thing before we hop off of here. 911 Uncut. Tell me about it. How did you come up with it? What is it? Tell us what it is, where we can find it, all of that.
Okay, so
This your this your plug opportunity.
this is my favorite part, right? So let's start from the 10 off. So 401 Cut turns 10 this year in November. 10.
Woo-hoo.
Yes, 10 years old. And I'm excited because I'm like, dang, okay, I'm hitting my 100K on IG with my 10 year. Like, this is pretty good. Like, I've been building this brand since 2015. It started off as a podcast, which is crazy. It
Mm-hmm.
started off as a podcast. Me and my homegirl, who, like my sister, she's a TAF alumni, okay? She started off with me. I had hit her up. I'm like, man, I want to start a podcast because I knew I was in radio, but I was watching how a lot of people who was in radio and stuff, they were starting their own podcast on the side. And one thing I realized too, a lot of people in radio, they get fired. That's just what happens in radio. They fire a lot of people. And I didn't never want to get fired from radio and not have nothing to fall back on. So I
Facts.
was like, you know what, while I'm, trying to get my feet going in radio, how about I start a podcast at the same time? Because if I keep working on this on the side while I'm doing all this other stuff, where could it turn out? I could turn out. I did not know it was gonna be where it's at now. I had no idea, but I'm blessed. I'm thankful. So once I started it, I decided to call it 401 Uncut because 411 is my birthday. 411 is my birthday. So I decided, like on the radio, I'm the girl with the 411. So I'm like, okay, if I'm the girl with the 411 on the radio, let me create a mirror image of this for social media, and I'm gonna make it uncut though because I could cuss, I can,
Yeah.
whatever. It's uncut. Like I don't have to be, cliche the 411 on the radio. So I created it, and it started off as the podcast in the city where we was interviewing all the rappers, all the hot rappers that was hot at the time, that was up and coming. I was getting them on my platform and giving them a place to, talk they stuff. So basically after that, like once my mom had died and stuff, and even just I was having a hard time monetizing. Podcasting is so hard because you spend a lot of money. I was going to the studio, having cameramans, I'm literally putting out money to interview and give these people a platform and a
Yeah.
space, and I'm doing all the work and I'm paying it. So I'm like, this is stupid. So I'm like, I can't do this shit no more. I'm like, this is dumb. And once my mom died, I had to take on my little brother who was 16 at the time. So I was like, I'm a guardian, full-time guardian, and I ain't really got the funds to put into something like this that's not bringing nothing back. So I ended up just telling my team, like, you know what, we just go focus on delivering the news on this platform because I will already deliver news on there, funny videos, viral things. I would post it on there, and like my Facebook page would go pretty viral a lot. The Facebook page was, but the Instagram wasn't moving yet. So I
Yeah.
was like, during the pandemic, I actually was full time at the radio, and they put me back part time because everything was shut down. So I come home and I got all this time on my hands. I'm like, man, how can I get this platform really jumping and moving? Like every time I would turn around, 401 Uncut would be what I still have. You know what I'm saying? And what I
Yeah.
could do something with. So I picked up interviewing, doing IG live interviews with different artists because the labels was kind of like, we need to do interviews, we need to do this and that. I'm like, okay, well, shoot, we could do it over here on this platform. I started really promoting artists, really changed how I deliver the news, making headlines and things like that. I did some marketing, different strategies. Start back doing interviews, in-person interviews, and next thing I know, it just started going crazy. Like I remember, like me creating, just getting on my journalism stuff and creating different stories. And I remember the Shade Room picking it up, and Neighborhood Talk, all your bigger blogs, they taking what I post and they reposting it
Nella
on
D
their
big
platform.
time. Nella
Yeah.
D big time.
So it started really going viral. And I'm like, dang, I started realizing celebrities, people like what we post. Like, and it's just, we post from fun things to news to crazy things, and it's so funny. I never realized how big it is for Cincinnati, and people start being like, man, we follow that page. Even now, like I was just in Columbus DJing Saturday. This guy walk up on me. He like, y'all try to connect with you a DJ, da 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 da. How can I follow you? When I get him the 411 page, I show him that to follow. Hey, follow you. Like, yeah, we be getting posted on there. We be getting promo. I'm like, oh, for real? What's y'all name? And it's crazy that people throughout all Ohio, they know 411 Uncut. It ain't just for Cincinnati, but Cincinnati shine on there the most. You know what I'm saying? Because it's homegrown. I make sure I still cover local news as well. Things that's going on here in the tri-state definitely is going to be covered on there first when big things going on. But, that platform is like how artists like Skylar, was getting her buzz in the city. You know what I mean? She got her
Yeah.
first interviews on 411 Uncut. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that where it's like, dang, like to see that it's able to just push people up, and give artists a home, even just small business owners, you know what I mean? All of that, like that's where 401 Uncut is going from the whole globe. It ain't just about
Yeah. It's
Cincinnati, but
giving it's giving people that platform. And I think that's kind of why I made this podcast. It's to give people a platform to share their story, to be authentic, and just give a piece of them. Because I tell people all the time is just by sharing a piece of your story, you never know who you're going to impact. You don't know that your story could be the survival guide to someone else's life because you don't know what someone else is going through. You don't know
yeah.
if they can relate to you. And I think that's the beautiful part of telling your story. And I love being able to have this platform. I'm trying to grow it, trying to
You
make it
ain't trying.
bigger.
Don't say what you're trying. You are growing it.
Yeah, I was about to say trying again.
Quit saying
But
try because
like
you're doing.
I'm I'm growing this podcast in a way that I feel like I want to be able to hit more people. I want to be able to touch more people. I want to be able to get stories out to the world because everyone has a story. Everyone's story matters, and it's important for you to share it. Whether you think you're important or not, you matter. And every person matters, and that's the biggest thing. Is I love this platform because it gives people a chance to be open, to be vulnerable, and it's non-judgmental. It's a safe place, I like to say. And I
Yeah,
think that's the biggest thing. Is that's why I started this whole thing. Is I want to be able to inspire others and give people a safe place to share a piece of their
yes.
story so we can inspire the world together.
And you doing it though. That's why I said don't say you trying, because you can't
Yeah,
be trying if you're doing. So that's one thing I took
yeah.
out of my. It's a mindset thing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I had to get out of that. Like I really started being like, you know what? I'm a CEO. Like I'm a CEO. I'm a CEO for One Uncut. Like that's what I am. That's
Mm-hmm.
my business. I'm the CEO of that.
Yeah,
That's I own this. Like, you know, and so move like that. So bask in it. Okay. You're not trying.
yeah.
I ain't trying to do 411 Uncut. No, I'm doing 411 Uncut. You
Yeah,
get what I'm
and
saying?
I think you say trying because I'm a type of person where I compare a lot, and it's not healthy. I know, but
On social media, how you
working.
comparing?
I'm working on that part of the aspect. I work on it through therapy of learning to not look at other people and be like devastated because I don't know their
Yes.
journey. I don't know what they went through to get to where they are. My journey is unique to me, and I think my thing is I need to just pour more into this. I love doing this. It's
Yeah.
very therapeutic for me. I get happy when I do it. I smile ear to ear when I talk about it. It's
Yes.
because this brings me so much peace. It brings me so much joy, and if I could do this as a full-time job, I'm not gonna lie, I would.
And that's why you can't compare, because I used to do that a lot, especially with radio. Like, man, I see other people got full-time jobs and things, but guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe God didn't want me to have a full-time radio job because he wanted me to build for One Uncut. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
certain things you don't know why certain things ain't happening for you right away or whatever. Because like I said, when you do decide to step away from, you know, I left full-time jobs to go work part-time in radio. You know what I mean? And yeah, I lost a lot by doing that. Now, am I happy? Was I happier? Of course, I was doing what I want to do, but it come at a price. It come at a
Yeah.
sacrifice, and a lot of people be set up before you do it. You know, I wish I could have been like, oh, I had a savings, so then I was okay or whatever. I was just like, no, because sometimes it don't work like that. If the opportunity here, the opportunity is here. You
You
gotta
gotta take it while you can,
you gotta
because you
take
never
it.
know if you're gonna get it again. And I think that's
Yeah.
the thing is
So I took it, and you know, and I would compare and see what people doing in especially, you know, you look at these big markets like Atlanta and New
I
York.
tell
And
people all the time, it's like I have this conversation about comparison on this podcast so much because it's you can easily look at someone else and see their podcast doing well, but they also have big time corporations pushing their shit out. Where I'm an indie podcast, I do this damn near all by myself besides my best friend Devon. Shout out to Devon. He edits my podcast and he does an amazing job at it. It's just been us from the beginning. It's been me and him. And
yeah,
like damn near like we've been on conversations of like how we can make this bigger, how we can do this, what do we need to change, and
yeah.
that's one person I know has always been supportive of this is Devon. Like I don't have to question his support.
Mhm.
He is 10 toes down behind me on this,
And
and
that's all you need, because
yeah,
guess what?
he
When it
believes in the
comes
vision. Yeah, he
to
believes the
consistency,
vision, and
consistency. That's
yeah.
it. Once you be consistent and you continuously do stuff, that's what make a lot of people be like, "Oh my god!" So that's why I turned my platform into like a digital media platform instead of just a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
because I started realizing I needed to make sure I connect with people even when we're not podcasting. How do I connect? Well, I could deliver news. I could deliver other content that is funny, engaging, to help these pages grow. So by the time, let's say right now, I may want to pick up and do a podcast again. Well, guess what? Now I got 100,000 followers that I can promote this podcast to now.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Versus just the interviews I do now. You know, we still do interviews, but now my page is faceless. But if I wanted to, I could say, you know what, I want me and a couple of other DJs and we're
Yeah.
gonna do a pod. Well, I kept my pages moving. I kept them, you know, that's what it's about now. It's about promoting, because you could get on this mic and you could talk good, have good conversation, but how are you promoting it afterwards? That's what matters. How are you
Yeah.
marketing your content? Once I figured that out, things got way easier for me once I figured that part out.
And that's one thing I'm working on. I've always been trying to be this perfect person, and it's kind of taking that perfection piece out. It's funny because me and Devon literally just had this conversation a week ago about trying to not be perfect, and it's just posting to post. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get your content out there, do what you need to do, and that's what I'm doing. I think that's part of the reason why I'm writing a book, is because I want to tie that into my brand, because it's
Yeah.
my story, it's my life, and just being able to go and be a public speaker and talk to kids and tell them about my journey and how it's been a roller coaster. Like, I've been through some shit in life, and I tell the kids now, is like, I might not look like you, but I understand where you're coming from. I get you. I hear you. I see you. I don't have to look like you to be
Understand.
compassionate, to be understanding, and to be empathetic and want what's right for you. You know what I mean? And I
Oh,
think
for real.
that's what it comes down to, is just I'm trying to get all these things to tie together, and I think it's a work in progress. And the book is a journey itself. It's hard to write because it's deep and emotional. Like, I'm
Yeah,
very open and authentic in it so far, and it's just one of those things where that's going to take time because it's like a
it
healing
is.
process.
It is.
But
It's gonna take
I
time.
but I feel like once it all comes together, like, it's gonna make sense. So I'm excited for that. But
I
I
can't
just
wait.
want to
I
say
want to read it.
I can give you a glimpse. I'll
I
give
want
you a
to read it.
glimpse.
I can't wait. I'm like, oh, this sounds good.
Yeah, I'll give you a glimpse of it once we get off the air.
Okay.
But I just want to say thank you. Thank
Oh,
you for taking the time out of your day to hop on the pod. It's been a pleasure getting to know you a little bit more. I feel like I've known you as the DJ or the radio personality, but now I feel like I get to know you on a little bit of a deeper level. And
I know you made me
just
cry on here. I was crying a little bit.
just know you're never alone. I think that's the thing, is your story is very inspiring, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to it. And it took a lot of strength to be open and be vulnerable, and it's okay to cry, but I want you to know that you're never alone. And if you ever need someone to talk to, like, you have my number, so don't be afraid to use it. I'm always here to be a listening ear and help as best as I can, even if it's just to hear you vent for a little bit. That's all that matters. But just
No,
again,
for real.
wanted to say thank you. It's been a pleasure. And if anyone wants to continue having a conversation with you about anything that we talked about today, or they just have an interest in like radio or whatever it may be, what would be the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Okay, yeah. So you can contact me on my Instagram, Twitter is at Nella_D513. Also, too, and that's TikTok as well. And then, too, of course, at 411 Uncut, everywhere at 411 Uncut. I respond on there too. That's my page as well. So I'm usually on that page a lot more because that's the busy page. But
Yeah.
I'm always on my Nella D page too. So
Well, thank you again. I appreciate it. I really do. And I want
thank
to say thank Oh, no, you're good. I want to say thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, stop what you're doing, hit that like button, turn that post notification bell on, and hit that subscribe button. Do all the things you need to do so you don't miss an episode. I love you guys so much. Make sure you guys follow us on all social media platforms. It's at Ignite Your Why. We're on everything. You just type in Ignite Your Why, we'll pop up. Again, thank you all for tuning in. And always remember, find your purpose, ignite your why, and I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.